Like heavyweight. Questions, all right, everybody, let's get started. There's a few pictures of me.
It's on.
Greetings and welcome everybody and welcome to the folks on Zoom. How many people we have on Zoom?
Hi,
5. All right, nice.
actually, it's more than that, because one of them tripled up.
All right, any new visitors this evening?
2.
2. And you're both friends of Jim's, right?
Yeah.
But now we're friends with all of you.
Yeah. Well, welcome. If you want to join, come see me.
You got it.
Yeah. Okay, Jim Neville is not here tonight, but he wanted me to announce that we have exhibits upcoming here in the community center. And we set it up June 1st, Monday, June 1st. That's next week, right?
Yep.
6:30. 6:30 p.m. And then once we're set up here, they move over to the Brunner House down the road and set up there.
Right.
And as memory serves, we can hang about 30-ish photos here, 32, and about 12 to 16 at the Brunner House. So bring your ready to hang photos, June 1st at 6:30. Rebecca. Just encourage you.
I know.
Bring a photo.
Got it. Got it.
Upcoming club outings, Erie Balloon Festival is July 10th through 12th. Harry Schussler is leading. Is he here tonight? Well, all the information about it is on our website on the events page. Scroll down, you'll see. We're still doing the White Sands outing, August 10th through the 14th. 16 people are signed up. If you want to sign up, let me know. And then I'll let Tim speak about a possible outing.
You know, I'm a nature photographer at heart, but I do a lot of other things too, but occasionally I've stumbled upon carnivals. One at Orchard, another one at Flatirons. You can get some really cool photos, especially at night. Get really cool photos of motion and the lights and so on. But anyway, I've always wanted to go to down on Sheridan. What's the name of that amusement place?
Lakeside.
Lakeside.
Buildings.
But I remember one of the club members years ago saying that, ooh, they really frowned on photographs. Does anybody confirm that? You know?
I was just there a couple days ago, running a test roll through a camera, and somebody asked me not to photograph something, and so I just avoided her for the whole time. But I figure if it's dark.
But you took photos.
Yeah, I took a whole bunch. I had a film camera. I was actually gonna email them and ask what the deal is, because it seemed weird. That place is a complete trip. They've got closed rides that have been closed for 70 years, just sitting there rusting.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And like closed little, you can't walk over there because it's barricaded.
Oh,
It's like really falling apart in a great way.
oh, so.
I would love it.
Well, it's, I mean, I don't even know, I Googled like, you know, carnivals and they come up with anything and. Well, why don't I go to Elitch's? That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Is anybody else interested in something like that?
Do the county fairs, they're cheaper.
Huh?
County Fair.
County fairs,
There's an Adams County Fair. I don't know when that is.
Oh, you're right.
They have rides and stuff.
Boulder County Fair too.
Yeah.
Boulder County.
Yeah.
Is it?
I did shoot the Adams County, it was before COVID. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right.
That sounds like fun. Well, yeah, you should do it. It's really cool. Maybe I'll email them and find out what the deal is with their weird photo
Okay.
thing. I'll let him know.
That's
Yeah, what are they gonna do?
Lakeside? Okay. All right. Okay. All right, thanks.
Yeah, let's do it, Tim.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just pick a date, time and date, and we can email the members. Yeah. What else? I'm looking for volunteers to staff our booths for 2 events this year. Nature Fest on August 15th at Metzger Farm. So join us at our booth. That'd be great.
That's a weekend, right?
That's a Saturday and it's like 9 to noon roughly. And we have a shelter and a table and we give out stickers and flyers and
What
stuff.
day is that again?
Saturday, August 15th.
I can do
That's a
that.
yes.
So yeah, great. Also,
I'm a mile away from them.
Could ride your skateboard.
we're gonna share a booth
Oh.
during Broomfield Days with the Open Space Foundation. So I need people for that as well.
When is that?
September.
That's September 19th,
Is it? So also Saturday.
also Saturday.
What's the time for the? August.
For the Nature Fest is 9 to noon.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the exact times, but it's usually around there.
Okay. I can probably do it with Wendy.
That'd be great.
I can do Broomfield Days. What's the time for that one?
Well, I think it's all day,
Right, you'll have shifts,
so we'll have to figure out.
because I'm not
shifts.
sitting there all day. Unless you give me like an extra corn dog.
I could do that.
I mean, I'll use it to bribe children for.
Deliver a
things,
corn dog every once in a while.
but- Yeah,
We'll figure out shifts.
okay, yeah, I'll put it down and just let me know.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, a reminder about our calendar collaboration with the Open Space Foundation.
Yeah, we gotta do it.
So create and submit your photos for the calendar. The deadline is July, where is that?
See, so-
July 25th.
July,
July 25th.
not June.
July 25th.
They're gonna try to sell them at Broomfield?
They're gonna sell them at Broomfield Days. So that's gonna leave us time for judging. We're gonna judge August 1st. And then Caleb's gonna help with graphic design. And we're gonna put it together and then send it to the printer. And have it ready by Broomfield Days.
And it's 6 photos, right?
6 photos per photographer. Up to, you don't have to send 6, send 1, but. Increase your chances with 6. Okay, yeah. So our next meeting is Tuesday, June 23rd. The signed subject is secret selfie. Who knows what that is? Secret selfie. Rebecca, you want to tell us?
A secret selfie is when you take a photo and somewhere in that photo is an image of you. So it could be the eye of a human or a cat, or it could be a water drop. I mean, it could be anything that reflects you in that image. You're not the star of the image. You're just subtly in there.
Sunglasses are really good.
Sunglasses are a good one. Yes, sir.
I think of Yitka's photo, like of the rocks.
Yeah.
The shiny rocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a secret selfie.
Yeah. She might resubmit that.
Yeah, resubmit
All right, so photo submissions for next month are due June 15th. And Mark Bunge will be presenting on, is he here tonight, Mark? No. He'll be presenting on camera fun. So we'll see what that is. Our schedule is always online on our website on the events page. If you're always wondering what's next month's assignment, it's always on there on the website. Okay, take a moment to silence your phones. And tonight we have Jim Garland is going to present on street portraits.
I sure am.
And after his presentation, we'll take a short break after his presentation and then come back and view member photos. With that, I'll hand you over to Jim.
So much better from up here. Don't mention I have 2 special guests. One is my wife, Amy. And we have a very interesting meeting story back in DC because we met a lot. We bumped into each other constantly. And after one of those meetings, she Googled me, and which I found out later. And
Speak up.
famously,
You have to speak up.
oh, sorry. She famously said, wow, I found this guy, he seems so interesting. He's this photographer. So 15 years later, when work gets slow, I ask her, how interesting am I now? And usually it's pretty good. And my good friend Paul Trantow, photographer extraordinaire, Altitude Arts is his company. We've known each other for 10 years. And during COVID, when he got COVID, I filled in for him at a job at a moment's notice. And when I got COVID, he did the same thing.
That's what we do. And
So awesome. But I'm excited to present about street portraits because it's a real passion of mine. You're going to see that I'm going to teach a little. Phil said this is a teaching club. So I'll give some tips on how to do it, where to find the best people. But there's a lot of stories behind these photos, and you're going to see that some of them, I don't know, they resonate with me. They stick with me. We're going to go, this is kind of like an origin story of how I got here. So you'll laugh and you might cry. But I do encourage laughter and heckling if you wish.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, we can.
Okay. Turn the switch on.
Oh,
Lights, can someone hit the lights back there?
Camera. Action.
no,
Yeah.
I haven't made or given a presentation in a long time. So first time you see, well, I worked with Gary, of course, on putting the final touches on this. And in one of our calls, he said, what about your transitions? And I said, my what? And so the first time you see a dissolve transition, that's Gary. You can, right, so now I'm in control. I can't believe this. So yeah, so this month's theme for our assignment was street photography. So I decided to,
You thought you had.
I thought I had, what's going on?
Yeah, let's see, it was working this afternoon, because I tested everything
Thanks
first.
very much, everybody.
Let's see, is it the range?
Stick to,
Take two. I'll tell you what, I don't know why it doesn't do that. It's supposed to. Okay,
what do you think?
what I think is going to come sit over here.
Throwing me for a loop?
I have no idea why it decided that it didn't like it this time. Because I tested everything 3 times. All right, but you know, the best laid plans of mice and men.
Yeah. So am I
There you
gonna
go.
have my back to,
No,
the,
all you have to do is reach over and get that space bar.
You should probably face us.
I should, right?
Switch.
Of course, you could.
Yeah,
It's
what's that? Okay, all right.
to look at it.
Did you ask George Lucas if you could use this?
Dun, 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 dun. No.
Right.
Okay, all right, since, when you search the web for the definition of street photography, you get a lot. This is probably the most succinct one I found. Unscripted moments in a public space, human presence is essential. And another phrase that comes up is the decisive moment. So I did do a little bit of this in my past, and this is in Brooklyn, where we have 4 people totally in their own world, but sort of enjoy their movement and their embrace in the middle. And
Jim, you're gonna have to make a point of speaking up.
oh, okay, sorry,
You don't have a microphone, so.
that's right. Okay, and I'm sitting down, so that's a little worse also.
Just hit the space bar.
All right, I hit the space bar. Okay, now here's one where this started to be a street portrait and ended up being a little more interesting in the background because that bicycle rider has his interest elsewhere. He is not looking forward. So this guy was a street photographer and he was shooting bicyclists. And this is going across the Williamsburg Bridge in Brooklyn. But I've always liked this. It reminds me of that meme of the girl, the boyfriend looking back. So I love that. I wish I knew whatever happened to that guy. So, okay, so I know he crashed. I hope so. I know we have a lot of wildlife shooters in here. And maybe this month's assignment was a little out of our comfort zone. But I thought I should show some of the pioneers of this genre. And Cartier-Bresson is probably known as the father of street photography. And he shot in France in 30s and 40s, and maybe one of the first guys to use a 35 millimeter Leica, so he could be stealthy. But he's the one who said decisive moment. But getting into street photography, if you haven't heard of Vivian Meyer, she has an incredible story of where her photos were not discovered until after she died in 2007. And she shot throughout Chicago in the 50s and 60s. And there is a documentary called Finding Vivian Meyer it's free on Canopy, but I highly recommend it. She just had this treasure full of undeveloped film, negatives that she never showed anybody. And when she came out, people were really excited.
I can highly recommend that documentary.
She
Yeah,
is
it's really.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then some other people.
Jaw-dropping moments in there.
Yeah, she's incredible. Deanne Arbus, she liked to shoot kind of people on the fringe of society. And this famous picture was sort of inspired Stanley Kubrick and the twins in The Shining. It creeps me out still. Richard Avedon was an early favorite of mine when I was in high school. He shot people in the American West, just put them up against a white wall or a white piece of paper. And he just had a knack for finding the right person. I have a friend who said, nothing he did was, extraordinary in like technical wise, but it's good because he knew who to pick, who to shoot. And that's something, he really had the eye. And Bruce Gilden, he's in a class by himself. Joel Meyerowitz also really good. Joel Meyerowitz couldn't stand Bruce Gilden. He called him a bully because he would just walk up to people and flash them right in their face. And that's what you get. But anyway, the cat's cute.
Yeah.
And then more contemporary, Brandon Stanton, he really started, I guess, when social media was taking off. So his Humans of New York was a really big thing. So if any of those are new to you, I recommend that you check them out. And then here's a recommendation that is an ongoing project of a friend of mine and Paul's, Kenneth Wajda from Boulder. He has been doing this for how many years, Paul? 6 years, maybe?
Yeah, forever.
So
It's got like thousands of them.
Thousands. So he's going out with a Rolleiflex camera, 6 millimeter square, with a 12 exposure roll and shooting 12 people. He's only giving them one shot each. And if they blink, then they're done. But and he's been doing this forever. And he'll go out, he'll definitely have to do the whole roll. He goes home, he scans them, he puts them up that night and lets people download them. But you can go to AmericanStreetPortrait.com and see his work. Yes.
Is he still doing his meetups and all?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yeah, Paul just mentioned he's
Next Wednesday.
next Wednesday. Yeah, really great project. I highly recommend. Okay, now it's time for my presentation. And we'll see these girls again. Okay, so my camera history, I guess, starts with my first camera in 1985. I'm an Ulta X370. And it just so happened to have a picture of me using one. And if I have the chance to show you a picture of me with hair, I'm going to do it. So that's at the DC Zoo on my senior class trip 40 years ago. My reunion is coming up. And then just to run down the rest of these, when I got to high school, well, when I was in high school and took photography class, we used the Rolleiflex twin lens reflex. And I use my 35 millimeter for the yearbook. In college, did 35 millimeter plus the 4x5 view camera. That was really cool. I learned what reciprocity failure was. I don't know what that is anymore. And I think for many years after, I guess I was shooting with a Canon ELPH or something, the little film cameras, but for a long time, I didn't shoot anything. And it wasn't until 2005 when I got my first digital camera, Canon PowerShot A95. And I mean, I know so little about it. And I remember being in Best Buy and the guy was telling me I need to get a memory card because it comes with a 5 MB card. And I thought he was trying to upsell me because I didn't understand like how much space I need and what is this really about. So, but that was a good place to start. But when I became a photographer, I shot with Canon for a long time. And then I was tired of my pictures not being in focus, so I moved to a Sony mirrorless, and I've been shooting with that for almost 3 years. And here's my abridged history. Let's see. So all that photography and all those cameras and all that interest. I still went to school for graphic design, and I was a graphic designer for about 17 years until I joined Flickr. Posting those pictures I had with my point and shoot. And about 6 months later, I discovered this project. And I remember looking through Flickr. It was getting really big. I joined a social club in DC, so we were going on happy hours. But I remember the moment I was looking through and I saw a picture that said, "This is photo number 10 in my 100 Strangers project." And something really hit me. And I'm like, I have to do this. I knew immediately that this was the thing I was going to do. And this hashtag hasn't caught on yet, but and the rest is history. So let's see what my next one is. Okay, yeah. So here are the rules. I remember thinking, all right, I'm definitely going to do this, but all I have is a point and shoot, and I cannot do this project with a point and shoot. I have to have a DSLR. And also, where am I going to do this? So my plan was to rent a DSLR, and I was going on a trip to Connecticut to see family, and I decided I'm going to stop in upstate New York where I went to college and start there because that'll be a good place where I can go up to a stranger and tell them about this project, and they'll be like, yeah, that sounds cool, college town. So that was my plan. And oh, see, I missed my transition. Anyway, so the reason why this project spoke to me and why I think it's, it kind of hit me in this really emotional ways, because when I was first given an assignment in college just to go out and shoot a roll of film and come back and develop it, this is what I did. This is from freshman year, and I went out and I photographed strangers. And, there was something about having a camera and being able to connect with people that always gave you that little, extra in. And I feel like people felt seen. I don't know, it just gave me a real high, a real buzz, but that's where it comes from. And this is another one from freshman year, 1986. And I wish I had a lot more that I saved, but that's where it comes from. All right, so there you go. There's the laughing. Rebecca, you have anything to say yet?
I'm just in awe at everything that you've done. So,
Oh my God. Thank you very much. All right,
The check is in the mail.
Okay, so with my DSLR, it was a Canon XTI. It was a crop sensor, and I didn't know what that meant. Even when I started shooting jobs, and someone said, "Is that full frame or crop sensor?" I did not know. But
Yes.
yeah, that's right. Okay. Oh, there's the resolve. Thank you, Gary. I know. Okay, so this is stranger number one in New Paltz, New York, and this is Eric. I remember being nervous. I remember thinking, what am I going to say? But I guess tip one is have an idea, maybe practice. And at this time, I don't think I even had business cards, but I told him what the project was, and he couldn't have cared less. He was like, yeah, whatever, that's totally fine. And I went back to read some of these stories because they're still on Flickr, and he was hoping to move to LA and be a stand-up comic. So that's how it got started. And now this is Brooke and Chelsea, and you are going to see them later. And this, gosh, they became really special. But on this day, was one of those days where I just left the house to go find people and go find stories, strangers. And I was in Georgetown. I wasn't getting anything. I was about to go home and they came around the corner. And this is one of those opportunities where girls with pink and blue hair, they're going to let you take their picture. You know, I mean, I think that's a theme that comes up a lot with street portraiture is, you know, how to find the right people and where to go and how do you approach someone. But something like this, it was so easy. And they were into it as well. And yes.
Did you only take one exposure?
No, definitely not. No, back, you know, if you look closely, you can see that it's probably not in great focus. I was, we're gonna see a lot more of that too, where the focus missed and it's not on the eyes, but no, I took a bunch and I have, but this is the first one that really blew up on Flickr. And it was really the first sense of social media is this thing and your pictures can reach far and wide on the computer. And, you know, then I was having conversations with people in Singapore and, you know, it wasn't as scary back then, but it was really thrilling. And this one will always be special. This is Memorial Day on the National Mall. Rolling Thunder is a big tradition when motorcycles come through. So this guy was awesome and he was up for it. Another thing to look for when you're shooting strangers is someone who's not in a hurry. And this guy was just hanging out on the motorcycle and I like getting his patches, but I even got his information and was able to send him some. That's an important thing. Okay, now here's another special guy. Does he remind you of anybody? So this is Charlie. He's from my neighborhood in DC. And I had seen him ever since I moved in, and he is a fixture of this neighborhood. He has lived there since he was a child. And, you know, he hasn't had a great life. He's had a hard life and he's been alone for a long time. And he walks up and down the street every day. He has his little routine. And I purposely avoided him for a long time before I could get the nerve to take his photo. And it wasn't until I saw him at a county fair that I approached him to say, hey, you're from my neighborhood. And he was a little standoffish at first, but he was into it. And after I posted it, he was so proud to be on the internet. He kept talking about it. He would see me and be like, hey, Stranger 84, Stranger 84. Hey, and so he really, really loves Elvis. I mean, it's kind of his life. He talks about it as, you know, so many years of representing the king. And every Halloween, he comes out dressed like this, and he walks up and down, and you know, the kids come up and down the street. They do a thing where the trick-or-treaters go to the shops. So he's out there every year, and he looks forward to it like it's better than
Does he
Christmas.
sing too?
No,
He's got the mic.
yeah, I know, but he's such an interesting guy. His Instagram is just pictures of him that he's taken of himself as Elvis. So that was
You gotta
Great
find your
idea.
niche.
you got to find a niche. You got to find your thing.
Um,
Whew, so this one is one of my favorites from the project, just from all the colors and the reflections in the window. This is one of those where I saw the opportunity and I didn't go for it right away. I kind of stuck around and was watching and, you know, I didn't want to be too awkward, but I finally just got the nerve to say, hey, I'm looking over here and I was wondering if I could take a picture. And the thing about this is he's using a Kindle, and this is the first time I'd ever seen a Kindle in the wild. So that's special too. I remember a lot of their names too. Okay, this yeah, right. She was great. This was waiting in line in front of the 930 Club, a concert venue in DC, one of my favorite places in the world. And also a good place to catch people that are maybe a little interesting, somewhat eccentric, but also not in a hurry. And this was one of my favorites. And she just got back in touch with me on Instagram. She found me through a picture of my cat, Moxie. I can't believe it. Yeah. So that was really cool to reconnect with her, because that was 2009. A lot of these are old. This is Paul, a tattoo artist at a big art festival in DC called Artomatic. And he built his own booth in this at this art fair, and was making tattoos, but he was ready for a picture. Okay, I may take a little while on this one, and I did mention you might cry, but this one is really, really special to me because of what I got to know about this woman afterwards. And this is Amy Krauss Rosenthal, a children's book writer and a very early vlogger. I didn't know anything about her before my friend who lived in Florida, who was following her blog, knew that she was coming to DC. And she was creating this video called The Beckoning of Lovely. And it really was just about bringing people together and making things and sharing things. And she took off on this tour called 60 Minutes of Lovely. And she was going to different cities where people were following her. And people gathered. My friend Jen from Florida said, you should go. I think you're going to find some great strangers there. So this lady, this woman here in the back taking my picture, that's my friend Emily. So she went as well. So during this event, you know, she just did all kinds of creative things, and she invited a little kid to the front. She recited a poem into his ear, and then he would tell it to the crowd. She had people come up to the mic and just say a goal that they've been thinking about, that if they said it out loud, then it would come true. It really was, I mean, it was the perfect opportunity to be with all these people that thought this kind of thing was cool, you know? And this is in the early days of vlogging and blogs. So I kept in touch with her, well, through her newsletter. And when she came back to DC, she actually started using this as her profile pic on YouTube with permission. And it's still up there. So I saw her again when she came for another book fair. And then I feel like, you know, that many years went by and I never, you know, I didn't really follow her work. But in 2017, I don't know if any of you have heard of a viral story from the New York Times called "You May Want to Marry My Husband." Did anyone ever hear that story?
Yes.
Yes? So it was from Amy, who at the time was dying of ovarian cancer. And she posted that on New York Times 10 days before she passed away. And it was a love letter to her husband and how great he was and everything she thought. And I remember, you can see this, it chills. So anyway, I remember reading it and not knowing who it was at first, and then like finding, you know, seeing the byline, and I don't know, it all came full circle. But anyway, I will always love that picture and that moment of Amy. And
That's an awfully long story for you. And that tells you the power of what you just did.
Thank you, John. It's true. And think about how long ago that was and how much it still means to me. Okay, this is a very short story, and it's funny. It's not as emotional, but okay, I know that this is November 30th, 2009 in Virginia, because the day after, this is the last day you could smoke in a public place. So this is a coffee shop that was down the street from the office I worked at this horrible design firm. And I feel like my days were numbered there anyway. And I went out at lunch one day to take this picture. And I was fired from that job 2 weeks later. I feel like it was probably, you know, in the cards, but it maybe had something to do with that because my attention wasn't fully on my graphic design work. And in my exit interview, they were like, you should really focus on photography. So, but those guys were assholes. Okay.
I think I worked for him.
Yeah, right. But I'll never forget Larry. This is John. John is handsome and has great soccer hair, and he also lived in my neighborhood. And again, I couldn't really approach him. We rode the same bus to work, and I also kind of waited for the right moment. You know, this is getting playfully stalker-like, but when I say it out loud, you know, him and Charlie, right? But anyway, so at a gallery show in DC, it turns out he was friends of a friend. So I met him and I said, I got to take a picture. And we're going to see him later also. And Katie, she's this one I had to refresh my memory by looking at the Strangers Project, but I went into her store and was just looking at, it's like housewares and it was cool glass. And I wanted to take some pictures in the store. And they said, well, I have to get permission from my manager. And she came out and I'm like, oh, hold the phone. I'd rather take your picture than the bowls and the glasses. So let's go outside. And, you know, her hair matched the wall. And, you know, I think of this one, this is kind of a nice snapshot. You know, it's fine. It's not winning awards, but it still has meaning.
Great color.
Yeah, right. She's really cool looking and she's a recording artist now. And then Steven, this is another one that blew up on Flickr. And this one was just a random, I was out at a beer garden with some friends, saw him from across the way, and I said, I got to do that. I got to get his picture. For a long time, he tried to tell me his eyes were real, but I kind of don't believe it. It's kind of like, I think they were great contacts, but, and he's somebody else that's going to show up. And this is Stranger 100. After all of that, I took a bus to New York from DC to get my 100th stranger, and you know, no pressure, but I thought that I started in New York. I thought it would be a great adventure, and you know, I don't even know how long it took me, but he just seemed to fit. He told me he was a photography major at School of Visual Arts, and he told me his favorite photographer was Terry something, who's the really creepy Hollywood guy
Who got in trouble?
who got in trouble.
What's that guy's name?
Yeah, he used like bright flash. Anyway, that was his favorite photographer. So maybe a little
Looks like
maybe
he has
suspect.
New York attitude.
Yeah, no, he was cool. He was totally cool. And he's standing in front of like a pharmacy, I guess, where the windows were covered in magazines. Anyway, so that completed the project. Now I go back to how I felt when I started, where gear was really important. And if you're going to do this today, I would say gear is important. You want to look professional. But back then, I thought, you know, I have to have a camera. I have to have a camera. But now this is 2010, and by now I have an iPhone, and this is the first iPhone street portrait I ever took. And I remember sitting. Actually, does anyone remember Pizzagate? Down at DC? Well, that's where this is. This is Comet Ping Pong in DC, about 5 blocks from our apartment. And I just remember sitting with my friend saying, oh my God, he's so cool with his glasses. Do you think I could take a picture of my phone? I don't know. And the answer was yes. And it started on a whole new project. And I put this through the app called Shake It Photo, which makes it look like a Polaroid. So I did this for, I don't know, another couple of years. Finding a guy with a camera, he's going to say yes. That's New York, San Francisco, DC. Yeah, with the cool hat. Oh yeah, right. Memory of this girl. This was at a festival in San Francisco called the Be Weird Festival. Yeah, right. She was one of the first employees at Twitter, and her handle was @C. Just the letter. And this guy sells essential oils in DC.
What's with the first guy?
He was just a film photographer in New York City, just walking around taking pictures, and I was doing my thing, and
Looks like a Bolshevik.
maybe he was. Yeah, right. I don't remember, but he was cool. He was up for it. Okay, here's a story. Yeah, I think these were both in DC as well. All right, so the guy in the middle. This was at Denver Airport at my gate. This guy was wearing this outfit.
Get stuck.
Right. What's that?
You're gonna get stuck sitting next to this guy.
Right. Well, we're standing in line to board, and he's wearing this outfit. And the wall next to us at our gate is that huge mural and that painting of the field.
Oh.
So I approach him and tell him my idea. And he first said, no, I don't think so, but thank you. I'm like, okay. And getting turned down is still, you know, a little hurtful, but totally fine. I get back in line, and he came over to me and said, you know what, let's do it. So I placed him in front of this painting, and I don't know, it's just
Unbelievable.
it's unbelievable.
Civil War.
Yeah, it was. I think it was. I think it was a Civil War Union. Yeah,
He
so
looks like a nut too.
I don't remember.
He did talk to you.
Yeah.
He did talk to me, so I'm a nut too, right?
It's like a leprechaun.
Right.
Yeah.
These are some more favorite iPhone shots. Fashion Week in New York, this guy Sean. This is Khalid from DC. That guy, he was just sitting at the bar at a coffee shop, and I went up to him and I said, hey, can we go outside and take a photo? He's like, yeah, let's go. This is a farmer on Long Island, on the east end of Long Island. His shirt says, can you feel the pulse of excitement? Can you? And these are a couple more where both of them are sort of disinterested or just accepting of my project. But the one on the right features two women who I approached, and I was telling them my project. I was actually in New York giving a talk on iPhone photography at the time. This is Manhattan. And I was telling them about this, and I said, dude, you would be really great for my series. And they just wouldn't really engage with me. They were sort of, I mean, they were polite, but laughing at me, as you can see. I asked them their names. They gave me fake names because later I realized the names were on their cups. And then, so I just kept shooting. They would never pose for me. And then in the middle of the conversation, I recognized the girl, the dark-haired girl. And I never let on, but I came away from the picture and Amy was there with me. Also, she always got a little nervous when I was approaching strangers. I can understand. So the name on her cup was Carly, and it turns out she was the T-Mobile girl from the commercials, which is why she didn't want to give me the time of day, probably. And her friend's name is Cody Horn, who you've never heard of. I think she was in a couple episodes of The Office. And this is against the same wall that I shot Khalid on. And this is Brian and Ola. They are not brothers. They were bandmates. This is another example of me just saying, I got to do this. I got to take a picture. And I'm still in touch with Brian. He actually came to Denver about 5 years ago, and I saw him.
Do you direct their poses?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we did a couple different things, but yeah, I try and I kind of let them just, do what feels natural. But like with Brooke and Chelsea, that was purposeful. And this just worked out. But that's,
Do you ask them not to?
yeah, probably sometimes. I think I did that recently when I shot somebody outside of Denver Art Museum. He had really cool hair, and I said, "Don't smile," and he laughed. I'm like, okay, but yeah, I think those guys, I don't know, their faces lend themselves to frowns. And this is my latest iPhone portrait because I shot this yesterday. So it's still happening, but this guy approached me in a Vic's Espresso in Boulder, and I could not get away. So he started saying something about God and the church and
Like how.
Octopuses.
octopuses, yeah, octopuses, and his sneakers had dragons on them. Oh, but his name is Jesse, and I listened. It was kind of entertaining. Nice guy, but
So that one you didn't have to stalk.
no stalking.
The stocky.
Here's a rule that came up. Our friend Kenneth, he gave a talk at the Colorado Photographic Arts Center. Yep, a couple weeks ago. And his rule is never chase anybody. All right, you can stalk, you can wait for them, but never chase them. And if you come up behind somebody and say, "Oh my God," and he told the story, he goes, "I've been following you for 2 blocks. You look awesome." And they run away.
Nice.
So stalking is fine. Okay. So moving on to, I guess this is another teaching portion of where can you find people to photograph? And events are one of the best places. And for the year following the Super Bowl win, I was living just a couple blocks away from the stadium off of Lowell and 17th. So I went to every home game and shot the tailgaters. And that's a place where you don't even have to look. Everybody wants their picture taken. And this kid is my favorite. That's the Mile High Salute, like with the least effort. But TD, well, TD was Terrell Davis. He was at the like a special Bud Light happy hour or tailgate. It's like roped off and it's, invite only. So he was making an appearance and I was in there. I got in good with the people. So he was making his way through the crowd on his way to like the grandstand.
Oh, I see. So that guy stood a selfie. Okay.
Yeah, he's doing a selfie of Carol and this security guy's like,
Trying to, okay, all right.
yeah, and this kid is the best. Yeah, so Rescue Rob. Yeah, he's actually in the Fan Hall of Fame. He's like an official NFL fan. And I was able to take this of him at the parade.
Oh my God.
And he got to use that in the Canton. Is that what the Hall of Fame is, Canton? Yeah. Right. Yeah. So he got to post that. There was like a display of all these fans, and I gave him this photo to display there for 6 months. But yeah, that's how I got in touch with him and stayed in touch.
Wow.
These guys are great. I forget the kid's first name. His last name is Miller, and they named him Vaughn. His middle name is Vaughn, Vaughn, whatever. So yeah, they named him something Vaughn Miller on purpose. That's pretty cute. That guy couldn't wait to pose in the bus. Road Warriors.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was really great. Upside Down Girl. It was really fun that whole year. Those guys. And one of these guys passed, I think, last year. He'd been doing this for decades. I think the guy on the left. But yeah, that was a great project. And this was definitely, yeah, into the winter months. That might have been like the last game against KC or something. Stock Show Parade, also a great place to find people. Definitely dressed up, definitely willing to be seen. Not a lot of extra work to get them. This is Broomfield 4th of July.
Wow.
Young cowboy, Reagan Bush guy. Gotta find my Mondale cap somewhere. Lost that. And in DC, they put on this event for a couple years called the Seersucker Social, where people would dress up in fancy clothes and go for a bike ride. And it was teeming with photographers, and I was one of them. So that was a place where everyone's taking pictures of everybody, and it was a really good time. I never did dress up. I never had the desire. But if you find a guy with a penny farthing, he's gonna say yes. She was also dressed up in her springtime best. This is my buddy BK Adams, an artist. He was a stranger at the time, but we got to know each other pretty well. And I photographed him many more times. And this is Lori, who I kind of never get tired of viewing this photo. Sorry, Amy. This is just one of my favorite photos ever. The lighting and her outfit and her skin and everything was just perfect. And the amazing thing about a lot of these pictures that they don't take a long time to take. I spend less than 5 minutes with them, and you're finding the right light, you're finding the right expression, you're getting comfortable with them. It's amazing what you can do in very little time.
So was that natural light?
Yeah, it's all natural light. I think everything so far has been. And speaking of light, that's another reason, or that's another thing that will inspire me to approach someone when they're in really beautiful light. like this. This was this is the portrait gallery in DC. That is this amazing atrium
Yeah.
and the light comes through. I mean, it is just, it's really amazing. It's just a nice place to sit and do nothing and people watch. And so light is a big draw. And this was on top of the MCA here in Denver. Also like late night or late afternoon sun. And that's back in DC. And that's up in Johnstown, is that, or Ward? In the town of Ward?
She was in Ward?
Ward, I think so. I think so. I know, right? Would she not fit in there?
Truck repair person or something?
No,
Fashion model.
Yeah, she's.
just passing through.
Passion.
But yeah, light's a big, and then sometimes it's just a really interesting face. And even this background too, kind of set her in a place where the background made part of the picture, the shapes and everything. Kevin, cowboy, that was DC, Eastern Market. I have more pictures of him and his partner. I don't know why I didn't show it, but he was this really big guy with a mohawk and big glasses. They made a great pair. Okay, so this is also the stock show. But
Stock show.
this is my 2 slides on hair. If you have good hair or crazy hair, or if you're a goth teen, I'm going to take your picture, and the chances are you're going to say yes.
I've never seen a goth with blonde hair.
I know. And here's more people with good hair. This is DC. That's 16th Street Mall. And really, if you're going to walk around with a coif like that, be prepared to be stopped. Also 16th Street Mall. I've always loved this one. I used to keep it on my front page of my website, but it got old, I guess. But I just like her expression, and of course, what she's wearing, and what this kid is wearing. Yeah, they don't give a damn. I mean, I really think it's kind of nice that people are mostly willing. You know, I've been turned down during the Strangers Project. I was turned down a lot, but I would say more often than not, I was. That people were really into it. Let's see, oh yeah, let's end. Oh, you're awing now, aren't you? Isn't he sweet? Don't you think? Isn't he the cutest little boy in New York City? Well, this takes a turn. So that guy, yeah, what a little shit.
You didn't pay him enough.
I know, right? All right, so what a little jerk, but I'm so glad I got to share with you 12 years later. And that wraps up the inspiration section. And moving on to travel. Travel is one of the best ways to get pictures of people. You're a tourist already, you know, they maybe expect it. But you're always, the idea of getting someone from a different country also is just, it's just so amazing. I think this counts as like 15 portraits. Muslim women, there were Muslim girls from a school, all in their full dress, like pants and covered, and they were loving it. But this is off of Krabi in Thailand.
So, hey, Jim, this is going great, but can you watch your time a little bit?
Sure. I really thought,
Knew that was-
oh my God, I can't believe how long it's been. Okay, Turks and Caicos. I love, these guys were in hospitality. Yep, more Turks and Caicos. That was our honeymoon, actually. Oh my God, I can't believe it went long. I'm so sorry.
Okay, go on.
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay, this is Newport Beach, California, and I traveled with Amy and her family. But I just went out in the morning. I said, I'm going to get some surfers, and that's what I did. Stopped them along the way. They were more than happy to pose. That guy, you know, wants a picture taken of him. That guy is awesome. That guy too. He was in the middle of playing beach volleyball. I interrupted them, but this is a surfer named Punker Pat. More on that later, I guess. Also surfer dude. Really nice background. This is in Mexico. both of these are iPhone.
Hmm.
And then Thailand, I think I caught Bao in the middle of rolling something.
Don't.
But, yeah,
He looks like he's had a few.
yeah, right.
It's a lot of money.
Those are also his
Yeah, right.
designs.
They got the good stuff.
Couple more from Thailand. Okay, oh boy, I got time. 3 projects. We're gonna roll through them. The Brook and Chelsea project, like I told you, I have a lot. I love the connection between the people I meet and the photographs I take. And I don't know how many people would have said yes if they knew that they would never get rid of me. But thank you for that dissolve again. So Brooke and Chelsea and I, we started taking pictures. This was 6 months after, and we started a tradition. Well, there's me saying that post was called Deja Vu.
You're good for 10 minutes.
Okay, all right, good. This is their album cover shot, and then this is just them being silly sisters. They were like 18 and 19 at the time, I think, or 18 and 20. So 6 months later, their hair changed. Then we got serious. The next year on our anniversary, so this was 2009. In 2010, I actually drove up to Brooklyn, where Chelsea moved, to photograph them on our anniversary. I was going to Long Island anyway, but they were certainly growing up and changing. And then this was back in DC at DuPont Circle. And this is one of my favorites of them. All right, so the brief story or the project here, on this day, we were walking around DuPont Circle, and they'd been talking about how they used to go there with their dad. And their dad had a rough life, been in jail, been homeless for a long time. And at this point, they hadn't seen him in like 5 months, or they hadn't heard from him. And yet there he was.
Wow.
They ran into him in the circle, and total surprise. And I just basically stayed there, photographing their moment. Yeah, really special. Chelsea's getting emotional. That's really sweet. Really, she's like being a little kid there. She's all tough in her outfits, and her big heels, but she looks like a sweet kid there. And then this is the last one I ever did with them, the year after at Baltimore. So yeah, I'll always love those two. So Revisited was my idea that these 3 people I stayed in touch with. John, I became friends with. Katie, I would see out a lot in similar circles, but we stayed in touch. Stephen, I just had his contact info. So this is 5 years after the Stranger Project, and I'm becoming a photographer for real. And I'm trying to hone my skills, right? I'm trying to come up with new ideas, and so my idea was, I want to photograph somebody that was a stranger out on the street, but now photograph them in their home, and cross that line from stranger to familiar, and really getting a lot closer emotionally and physically. So this is Katie in her house.
Nice.
5 years after the first picture. She's crushed it. Yeah. I had to move some stuff around and take things off the walls, but that was something. And there's John in his house. And then Stephen, this was, I think, 3 days before Amy and I left DC for Colorado. I was hounding him for the picture, and I finally got it that last week, and that was 10 years ago. But he's just as handsome as he was. Yeah, I met him. And here's my final project that you can follow if you want. Amy and I live right across from County Commons open space, and I decided that I should just go over there and take pictures of people and their dogs, and give them QR code and let them download their pictures. And so far, everyone has downloaded their photos.
Amazing.
So there's Paul Durda right behind her.
Building, not the person.
Yeah, that's a person.
It'd be kind of weird if it was.
Yeah, that's right. So that's really sweet. And guess what? Hey, Carl, guess what? Thank you.
Thank you.
Woo! That's Denise. That's Denise in San Francisco. That's also iPhone.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Ed. Any questions before we take a break? Any questions for Jim?
Need your pictures.
Okay.
Not
Yes, sir.
Yes, Paul.
Turn at least one light on.
Yeah.
At least turn one light on. Thank you, perfect.
Were you aware early in this project that your backgrounds and what the people were wearing were totally distraction free? No logos, no weird stuff in the background. That really early shot in Brooklyn, it's an old building with, there's not a big Virginia Slims ad on the side of the bus or anything like that. It's just, everything's clean as a whistle.
Converting the lights.
You just,
Yeah.
after a couple, you were like, I gotta let,
I guess I have the eye.
you're. Because like at the 50th one, I was like, there's not a single weird Puma
Just
logo.
one, Cheerios.
But no,
Two,
that's a cool
because
one.
the guy at the end with the green couch that you had to wait,
Yes.
there was crap under the couch.
There was?
Yeah, why didn't you sweep it up? I had some trash. I'm like. So yes.
About that.
Can't believe I had to do that.
Just, yeah. Yes.
I know, it's pretty terrible. It's pretty terrible photos. Thank you, Rebecca.
But in your defense, every line that was straight and horizontal was perfect in that photo.
Oh, I know,
That was amazing.
I did that on purpose.
I needed that to happen. No serious, man.
Yeah.
I needed that to happen. Thank you for letting me share this.
All right, well, we can take a short break and then come back and view our member photos.
I'm curious how many.
Oh, my God.
Might be shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were they like an hour?
Now we can.
That is bad, right? And I was their shoulders like. When I got a 51, where I live, I was using it like crazy. I think they must have two petrol deals. And I was this like, it's really young, you know, I was really like.
Yeah. If you look.
Well, I can see that, you know, 3.5. Blue hair. She's soft. Long time.
That was great.
That's. That's It's trickery.
I still, I put
Yeah. That would round it. That would. Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys.
That's how I.
Ready?
Are we ready?
Yeah.
We got 26 assigned photos and 47 open.
And one special if you let me.
We'll let you.
Okay.
And talk to go long.
Yeah, this is, I call this one holding hands. Oh, this couple in front of us holding hands. This is in Vienna. I think we're walking alongside the opera house here.
Very nice composition. I like the composition a lot.
Is Cal on the Zoom?
Cal, you there? If so, you're on mute. I guess he's not there. Okay, somebody speak to this one.
The vibrant colors are nice. I like those.
Yeah.
The library.
Yeah. The light in the back and then the dark in between to get that contrast.
Caleb,
Yeah, this is up at Chautauqua Park. And I was kind of looking into a little bit more of the signs of human activity in the area. And wishing that I had gotten that and found more actual humans.
Or scary.
This is my picture. This is from the clown contest at Broomfield Days last year, and I wanted to put these in to give everybody a reminder that September 19th is coming quick. So save the date. It's hard work, but it's very satisfying work and a lot of fun doing it.
It's great if you like kids, especially hot sauce.
Corn dog.
This is Carol Brandstetter.
Yeah.
So I can't hear anyone on Zoom.
I don't either.
Is Dwight on today?
Yeah, lights on.
I'm here.
Yeah, Steve,
Okay, I guess we're getting sound.
we're good.
All right.
So nobody there. Anyway, I really like the shadow on the floor.
Yeah.
Makes that angle. That's what makes it.
Carolyn,
So I would struggle with street photography, I'll be truthful, because I feel like I was just telling Wendy about it, that I know we're out in public, but these are private moments of people's lives, so I kind of struggle with, I guess, the philosophy behind it. So when I do street photography, I try not to get people to look at me, or I'm not looking directly at them. So with this one, I obviously made eye contact with the drawing, and I just really liked the interesting eye movement of the people, and you see all these other little faces and drawings, and I just found it kind of an interesting scene. But personally, I think I need to like learn how to approach strangers like Jim, and just engage, because his presentation was very heartwarming, like getting to know people. So I think, thank you, Jim. I'm gonna go out of my comfort zone moving forward.
I like how that eye is like right in the center.
Yeah.
Yeah, eye contact.
The little girl is too, but.
Great composition.
You captured a lot of faces in the drawings, people, in the background.
Fabulous.
That's a success.
this is Dwight. Ron, Dwight.
Hi, this is mine. This was over in Las Cruces, and I converted it to black and white, and I liked it a lot better.
Who is this gentleman?
That's one thing I didn't do. I didn't get his name. He was just at the farmer's market. I asked him permission, and anytime I ask somebody permission, whether it's hiking or wherever, I just offer them a card and say, if you reach out to me, I'll send you a copy of the photo, and I get pretty good responses.
Oh, good.
All right,
All right.
nice shot.
Gary, this is yours.
About the crowd. Boulder, I mean, what can you say about, it's Boulder.
I don't know what you have to say.
Gary and I go out for birds a lot, and one we've seen recently is a black-necked stilt. Well, this must have been a black-legged stilt.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, that was fun.
This haunts. Where's Hans?
This is at the Boulder Tulip and Fairy Festival, and I was walking around with my family in town, and my uncle said, "Oh, she doesn't look like an." The joke totally doesn't translate to English, but he said she doesn't look like an elf, but like a 12, which in Dutch means like an older person. So that was. So I took that picture, and I got the fairy queen fan in the back there, so. It's gonna be-
Nice.
James Hart is I haven't seen James. Is he here?
Yeah, I'm here on Zoom.
Hey, there he is.
Hey. So yeah, this is a Denver skate park. Me and a friend had gone out on Denver street photography outing, and I really found the skate park enjoyable. I really enjoyed bird photography, and it was kind of the same principles. The skaters were just doing their thing. They were totally unaware of us photographers, and so able to get some cool moments. And with some cropping, I was able to get a composition that I liked on this one.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice.
Thank you.
Jen Conroy.
That's mine. That's in Fairplay. They have furrow days every summer. And they furrow racing, which is an official, they go travel around with the furrows and race. It's a real thing. But yeah, I just love going every year. These are real athletes with furrows that cooperate, so count. And I always try to get a front row seat and take lots of pictures.
That's awesome. I love the hotel style.
Yeah. No fair body, that is an iconic.
Yeah.
I like the.
The people up on the balcony.
Yeah.
Or people down in the front, right, in front of the park bar. It just, I like all the people in this paparazzi.
We were just commenting, we like the phone paparazzi on the side there.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
No faces.
Yeah.
We're on the balcony too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The balcony started.
With a vest.
Yeah.
I'm taking over there.
I almost flipped this picture so I could read it.
Good thing, yeah.
Jim,
Haven't I said enough?
what year is the Galaxy?
Yeah, Galaxy 500.
What year?
Oh, 64?
Maybe 63, 64?
Yeah, actually, car guy in our family, after you texted me, Mark, you texted about these being in the paper, and 2 seconds after, our brother-in-law's father, texted, hey, is that your picture in the Enterprise? And he's a car guy, and I think he said 64.
Can you get a picture from the car?
And he said,
That's right off of Colfax, I'm Walgreens, and like Colfax and 17.
yeah, he probably said it's an East Coast car, it's rusting out.
Yeah, right. But no people,
There's your lines, straight lines.
my lines, right?
Straight lines,
Rule of thirds.
I took this last summer in Longmont during one of the public free concerts or bingo events or something. This girl was just the cutest, it's hard not to like her.
Yeah.
This made the paper as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe online? Guess not.
Somebody speak to it.
Nobody like it.
Nobody?
He just finished.
No.
Yeah.
Where is that? He started it in that video.
Well, let's see.
Where's the Santa Fe Trail? He started as a teenager.
How long do you think he's traveled in those shoes?
It's in the
Yeah,
trail.
it looks like it's-
It's in Santa Fe.
End of the Santa Fe Trail.
Yeah.
It ends in Santa Fe.
So,
Yeah, this young lady's sitting in a box inside of a open market in Cusco, Peru. And she was totally oblivious to what was going on around us and whatnot, and obviously you're struck by the hands, the face, and the attire, but what really grabbed me was that, even though her probably best days are behind her, she's knitting and she's doing something, and she's probably been doing all her life, was being productive, and it really struck me. It's just a neat lady. Good and small.
John Reed.
Well, there's been a lot of photographs that have been shown last month in this area, and Bill got hit by a car. He had to move, and his was I stood on the sidewalk and saved it. Lined up, so I was interested in the lights, not dodging cars, so that was from downtown Denver one night.
is this focus stacked?
No, that's a single exposure.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, I usually, when I'm out like this, I'm gonna use f/16 or higher.
Yeah,
And you can see the star effect in that, and I find a kind of a midpoint for a hyperfocal distance, so that most of the items, I always strip all my metadata, but try to find that meta or the middle area for focus. So, and using a wide aperture, you can get pretty good depth of field in there.
nice.
Larry.
Yeah, that's Piazza Navona in Rome, Italy. Probably several thousand people took the photo of those statues, and I wanted something a little different, so I just waited till this fella came along.
Ah, I like it.
Pigeon part of the statue.
Mark Hedler.
Yeah, that's from the stock show. Like the horseman there with his leather coat and everything, calmly holding the horses. Like a brother.
Mark Sponge. I don't see Mark.
Boy, there's a lot of people there.
Yeah. Unless you're 5 in the morning.
Remind me not to go.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Casson, I don't see Mark Casson.
Nice wet streets. Like,
Yeah, pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been good.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been this year.
Mike Irwin. Mike's here. I saw him here, right there.
Speak up.
Right there, this was just serendipity. It took about 2 minutes to put this together. We're just freshly back from a vacation that took us to Amsterdam. So this is the main metro in Amsterdam, and you can see the tram tracks. They're next to the sidewalk. I recognized that it was about to come at me. And I had gone out after the fun we had as a group doing downtown night shots, so I just set my tripod down and hit go. Voila, voila.
nice.
It works. It's great.
It worked. I was shocked.
This also made the paper.
Really got my opening.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Thank you.
Bill.
So this is Italy, 1986. I was just a youngster.
10.
I was 10, exactly. So this is on film, obviously, Kodachrome film. Who remembers Kodachrome?
Yeah.
So I like to looking through, this is the old city wall of Pisa, and you can look through the center and see the tower, the leaning tower.
Love that green car.
Yeah, the colorful.
And then just the locals waiting for the bus here. And I was back here 2 years ago, and this is all full of vendors now, and you can't take this picture anymore, it's just full of vendors.
Has to be. Good
Cool
shot.
time capsule.
Yeah, time capsule shot.
Bill.
Oh.
On the 16th Street Mall, and I like the curvature.
That's cute.
They're having fun.
Yeah.
Nice. Good composition.
Yes. Obviously having a good time.
Yes.
Including the dolls.
Raymond.
Not here.
Wonder where that's at.
Should we guess it?
Yeah, looks South American.
Yeah.
He's titled it Suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is an area on the Rhone in Lyon. And this is, the statue is of two individuals, a man and woman, the Nerons, that actually worked to get certain buildings and such on the UNESCO list, and actually saved Lyon and areas of it from being destroyed and filled up with more housing. And this guy, he had just had an argument with somebody else in a language I wasn't really sure of. And then he went and sat down and she walked that way. So his line went right to the statues and I was like, yeah.
Meanwhile, he's hanging onto her handbag.
He's hanging on, I mean, you know, maybe.
That's.
Probably safe.
It's
It's probably safe.
That's a man's
Street sign.
Yeah, I like that street sign there because it tells you exactly where you are.
Beautiful. Great, Kathy.
Yeah.
You'll never get that again. Oh.
When you- Is that a stranger?
It is a stranger, so we were.
I did not consent.
We went to the Christmas markets this last year and she's drinking Glühwein, which is this delicious wine that's got all these spices and it's served hot and it's steaming up her glasses there. So.
This was the Naughty Gnome Market.
Oh.
Gnomes everywhere.
Okay.
Doc, this is one of mine. Last year we saw a presentation on art shows and the speaker, I can't remember who he was, said he loved gas stations and neon signs. And I thought to myself, I really want to try that. Yeah. So I grabbed a new to me roll of film that I hadn't used before called Cinestill and set up in Loveland at this hotel and shot this. Really happy with the result. I went with the Caleb approach of science of humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a street
view. Yeah, there's street.
Mhm.
She got that.
Color TV.
Oh,
Mike Moss.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Taste of home.
Yeah, and the breads.
Oh, I love the reflection.
You know, Mike should have put that one in the, going for the enterprise, but he chose not to. It could have made it. That's a nice shot. Okay, that takes care of the assigned. Here we go, round 2.
And this is Monarola in the Cinque Terre area in Italy. And I just like this square and the people in here, you can kind of figure out their little story. And the one couple on the left's trying to figure out what the animals are on the ground. And one couple's going to the beach, another couple's coming from the beach. There's a couple of soccer fans.
Looks like they're going in a circle.
I know, yeah, that's right.
Right?
You know, and could you have rotated this so that the lines on the buildings were vertical?
Wide angle.
Could have, yeah.
I'm just asking.
Wide angle.
You'd have to put it into perspective software to straighten it.
Might excuse some of the other
Yeah.
ones. Yeah, but if the ones in front are aligned, that'll be.
Ah, fine. All right, let's see, where's the next one? That's every time I do this, it screws it up.
Doesn't like when you hide the
I know,
floating panel.
yeah. All right. Right again.
Out of focus.
Yeah, that's for sure. That brings it back. Nope, didn't, all right. You know, weird things happen with Windows. Oh, there it goes, all right.
Hey,
Caleb.
Yeah, it's the guys over at Haley, and I just thought, you know, it's kind of been a dream to photograph one, and I finally had my long lens on me when there was a burger around.
Great job.
They're great.
Yeah, exactly. Big spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my picture of the fun run at Broomfield Days last September. Starting line.
Oh, yeah. When is it again, Carl?
September 19th. It's Saturday.
Of this year.
Of this year.
Of this year.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, that's
Cool.
Yes.
Nice.
Is Carol here?
No, she's not.
No.
That's cool.
At least unless she's shown up since the first picture.
Party bus.
Carolyn.
This is mine, and I just kind of like the ironic story where she's in traditional Croatian dress selling. I don't know if they're Croatian or not, but she's on her phone, right? She's trying to be all traditional and she's on her phone.
Yeah.
She's not knitting. No, she's not knitting.
She should be
Ordering from
knitting.
Wait,
Yeah, this is another one from the farmer's market. It's a lot of color and the baby in the back. I thought it was kind of cool.
Actually, look down here. Look down here.
Little backpack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. Great shot.
Gary,
Nashville. You used to be able to find buskers out on the street, but I don't know if you can anymore. They were cracking down on them. This group was very popular, by the way. They did make an album.
I like her dress.
Hans,
This was me with two other portrait photographers doing like some street shooting here in Denver, and I like the way that the sunshine hit the hair. He has a big fro.
Oh, yeah.
My friend Sean there. And Jim, the other guy that you see kind of in silhouette, that's John Creative there.
Diddler.
Oh, is that it?
No.
That's Johnny?
Yeah, I think so. Where you have all the F's signs.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Great face like that.
Your shadows.
James.
Look at that graph.
This was from a trip I took in March out to Ray, Colorado. This is a greater prairie chicken, and they have their mating season. So, Colorado Parks and Wildlife will take you out to a viewing blind, and it's a really fun trip. I really recommend it if you ever get the chance.
Oh my God.
You say you got it out by Ray?
Yeah, it was Ray, Colorado. Yeah, on the Eastern Plains.
So was the chicken up on a rise or were you on your belly?
No, just had kind of a low angle. We were in a viewing blind, but was just at the right angle to get this.
Well, you hit it. It looks great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jen, Conroy.
Again, Park County, you'll find me in Fairplay, Park County a lot. That's South Park City. They have, what do they call it? Living History Days. So people dress up in their traditional outfits of the day and put on presentations and stuff, and I just happened to catch this moment where none of the tourists were in the picture. And this gentleman was sitting in the shade, waiting for whatever activity to come next. I really liked it.
Yitka.
Oh, I took this in New York City a couple of years ago. I just really like the serene scene of chess players in Central Park, next to hot dog stands and people walking by.
You can always smell that.
Yeah.
Right.
This is Joe Lusso. I don't think Joe's here, or he's not online either.
Like the lady and the baby in the van.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Photo bombed it.
Yeah.
That made the picture.
So we were in Cambodia and we were actually leaving a tarantula farm. And this is I mean, well done this, you just happen to have a camera in your hand when these kids go by and I couldn't believe them. There are 6 of them. And their expressions are amazing because the 2 in the center are terrified. And I think there's at least 2 sets of twins in there. But it was just had to be there at the right time. But,
So you thought this was better than the tarantula farm?
absolutely.
don't know if we can be friends.
I told us we'll always.
But hey, look at the flip-flop
They're lucky they still have toes.
I'm not sure they do
Oh,
anymore.
John, that's a London, vegetable market right on the street. Look down at the writing in the lower left corner, you can see its prices are in pounds.
Yeah.
Cauliflower a pound and a half. My daughter lived in London for a while, so it's, it's a direct flight from here to there, so, and she had a spot over Angel Station, and, it was just easy to pop over, bang around, enjoy the town, or fly over somewhere else real quick, so. I love the color, I like the textures, there are people, some action there, so.
I love that the Brussels sprouts are still on the stalk.
They sold that
I love that.
always.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't
great.
see them
It
separate.
stays fresher that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
meanwhile, look at Applebee's. Applebee's Fish Shop and Cafe.
With
Like-
trees.
Great.
Yeah.
Look,
Oh, wow.
Katie.
I hardly ever see him out of the water, so this was a treat seeing him standing on a piece of wood. He was trying to attract the female that was in front of him on the water. Oh. And it was just a fun little guy.
Yeah.
Where was that? Tomlinson Lake. Oh, okay. Edison and something. Yeah. Oh, that's not.
Larry, go on.
Yeah, this was down in Santa Fe, just happened to be walking down the street, a block or 2 off the plaza, and really liked the lines and the colors in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the approach that you took on this picture from the side, instead of moving around and taking it, face first.
Yeah, something a little different.
That way.
Really adds a lot by that side view.
Here's a case where the blueberry sky does not hurt you at all.
Right,
Right.
right.
Yeah, I thought of maybe doing a substitution and said, nope, doesn't need it.
it complements it.
Yeah, we need that.
Mark, ever.
Yeah, this is somewhere in Denver. I'm trying to think where in the, want to say the high-low area or the low-dough area, somewhere around there. Just took a picture of them ordering.
Mark Bunch. Mark, what was there earlier?
Yeah, great variety of color and texture.
Mark Castleman wasn't there earlier.
Doesn't he look like Joey? What's that show with the kid, Joey, tall Joey with the hair? Never mind. Joey what?
Joey Lawrence?
Joey Lawrence. Doesn't he look like Joey Lawrence? Okay. At least I got one person.
Blossom?
Blossom, that's it.
Okay.
Steve,
Well,
that's the one we Ooh.
Mike Goss,
Oh, it's great.
he wasn't here earlier either.
Nice egret.
Yes.
Ooh.
Bill.
This was taken a couple weeks ago when we had our outing and at the Louisville Criterium bicycle race, and Tim and myself were the only ones who made it,
No.
but we had a good time. So I turned this one to black and white and played around with the contrast, made it very contrasty.
Did you pan this?
Hmm,
Did you pan it? Yeah.
yeah, I was panning. Follow the racers.
It looks really cool.
Phyllis,
This is mine of the Rio and Greeley. I just liked all the reflections because it's like framed by the tree outside.
I like the warm color.
Yeah.
Like getting on silence.
Oh,
Raymond, and I don't think Raymond's here tonight.
Nice colors.
Great colors.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
This is in Strasbourg. It's the Gutenberg Center. I had a fixed 85 lens because we only had one lens that had telephoto and Wendy was using it. So it's actually a larger shot with more in it. But I like watching him having his coffee before he goes to work. That's a bar beneath him. So I just kind of imagine he's hanging out, getting ready for the day, and maybe he'll be
So
down.
it's my fault you got a great shot.
Yes. I learned how to work within the constraints. Yeah. It might not be coffee, but it is, it's France, so who knows? Yeah.
That's, I love the composition.
Oh, thank you.
I like the symmetry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took a minute, because when I took it, it was a little off kilter and it kind of messed me up. Because the lines and the horizontal lines were doing one thing and the windows were doing another, and I just had to go with the horizontal line.
Yeah.
And just call it good.
Yeah, horizontal are the dominant lines. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Looks good.
Oh,
This is
Jim.
Jim.
Uh,
No, that's Carl.
Oh.
That's the better side.
Nice.
That's cute.
That is cute.
Street photography.
I love the line, the road.
Yeah.
How long ago was this, Tim?
About 6 or 8 years ago.
Yeah, it was quite a while. Just Tim and I went up and it was fun. We had a nice day. We really did.
Yeah.
Wendy.
Yeah, I found a badger at Rocky Mountain Arsenal. Oh my
Yay.
goodness. Oh, so excited. I've been looking every time we go. And we had it for 30 minutes. And this, I don't know if it's a female, but I imagine it's a female who has kids. And she was literally running from burrow to burrow. And I have pictures of her running to a prairie dog burrow with other prairie dogs watching her in the distance. I got so many photos of her. It was really fun. It was just amazing. And their claws are massive. They're massive. And they're a mustelid, right? So they're in the weasel family. From behind, she looks like a skunk the way she is with their tail up. But I didn't know that they run with their tail up. It was really fun watching them. It's so rare to see one,
Never seen a badger.
Their heads are fur. Yeah. Yeah.
Let alone for that long.
Yeah.
I've seen them, but you see them for 30 seconds,
Exactly.
maybe a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was just, she was out there
Putting on a show.
putting on a show. It was phenomenal.
Great shot.
Great shot.
Thank you.
Just FYI, the Enterprise will not publish anything with a water.
Yeah, she knows that. She didn't.
That I didn't submit that. That was not my assignment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If it's in an A picture, I'll respond, but when it's in an open picture, I'll let it slide.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't street photography.
Never mind. Never mind.
Simmer down. Simmer down now.
This is another one of mine. This was in Santa Fe this past Christmas Eve on Canyon Road. They do like an art walk and the galleries stay open late and everything has these little farolitos on top of the buildings. I brought my film camera with me, but I had a film emergency or I didn't have anything that was fast enough, I thought. So I found a shop that had some 800 speed, and this is before I experimented with pushing film in development. So I just shot at box speed. I had wide open at like 1.4, and as you can see, I slightly missed focus. on my girlfriend. So even though this isn't a technically perfect photo, it's still an aesthetically perfect photo. This is being recorded, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So, it's a lot of fun.
And this is yours again.
Yeah, this is the Speyer, Germany. And it was lightly raining and I just kind of like all the people out with the umbrellas and the family on the bicycles.
Nice frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the framing. of-
Yeah.
Looking right through the frame into it.
Frame of the arch is beautiful.
Yeah, they're an old city.
Caleb?
Yeah, this is Chautauqua Park again, and yeah, those cottages are just kind of fascinating, just seeing all the variation there and capturing how people inhabit them now. So this is one of the cottage guests.
Nice. Did you get permission?
Doesn't look to be a hurry.
This is mine again from Broomfield Days. Remember, September 19th. May
2026.
2026, right?
Is that a Saturday?
Or Sunday.
That's a Saturday. And that's Pizza Pete Kraus. Carol Brand Center here.
Florida, awesome.
Wow, yes.
I like the shot. I wish the foreground was a little bit further.
Yeah. Why would it not go?
Wow, cute.
Dwight?
I think this one is the perfect human for this dog.
I like the dog toy down on the ground.
Yeah, he would pick it up and they'd walk about 10 feet, he'd drop it and he wanted to check everybody out. And again, they gave me permission.
Oh, great. Nice capture. Back in Nashville, this is that same group during the day instead of at night. This lady,
Is that a spoon lady?
That's Spoon Lady.
yes,
That's the one from the. on
I saw her in
YouTube.
action.
I've interviewed
I had to
her.
look at her for a minute, yeah.
Yeah, I've interviewed her numerous times.
Yeah,
She used some of my pictures on her website.
cool.
I must have 50 pictures of this lady and this group. They're a lot of fun.
Months.
This is just a street scene in Den Bosch in Holland. Was there about a month ago. You see a lot of people with these bikes with a, I don't know what the English word for it is, but
Basket?
it's literally called a basket bike. Yeah.
Very cool.
Oh.
James,
Nice.
are you still on, James?
Yeah, I'm here. This was from that same trip to Ray, Colorado. So it was just a state wildlife area outside Ray. And I was hiking back to the car at the end of my walk and just stumbled upon this flock of turkeys. And yeah, I was really happy just to be right at eye level with them. And so I was really pleased with how this came out and just the colors of it.
Nice that you focused on the birds and not the grass.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky that the autofocus managed to get the eyes in focus.
Yeah, nice.
Good capture.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I took this last summer also in Longmont at one of the free concerts that was happening at the outside mall. And I just love this couple just having fun,
Yeah.
dancing and just beautiful summer evening and everybody had a good time.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you, Tim. Tim definitely into that.
John, read
I took that in 2004, and Jimmy mentioned your first digital camera.
Yes.
I got my first digital camera right before a business trip to Suzuka, Japan. It's a little industrial city.
Yeah.
And I took that photograph, rolled the window down in the back of the taxi, I'm sitting in the back seat of the taxi, I rolled the window down. And I thought the order was just about right. You know, you had a leader, and then you had a progressive age group where they all got a little taller, and the colors were good,
So was it digital?
yes, it was. It was
Five
my
meg-
first.
5 megapixels.
That was real digital camera in 2004.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, remember, mine was 5 megapixels.
I think that one was about the same.
Yeah.
It was a Nikon, it was E5700, which was the predecessor to their Coolpix.
Yeah.
And it had, you know, their built-in zoom lens and all that stuff on it. And I shot a lot of pictures. I did a lot of traveling in Japan. I worked for Honda. And every time we change model, to build a new model, do something, you know, you'd go over there to figure out what they really wanted. And then you'd come back home and build it. So that was one of my favorite pictures of all the trips that I took.
Nice.
Wow.
Larry, are you still on?
What?
Yes, that was taken in Copenhagen while all the tourists were looking the other way at the church. I happened to see the shop window and had to take the photo.
That's a great one.
Is that stuffed?
Yeah.
All right, live or stuffed?
Yeah.
Is it alive or stuffed?
Well, it wasn't moving, so I'm presuming stuff.
Wild boar.
Previously living.
Yeah, I have no idea what the significance was. Maybe the Danish people have something they attach to the wild boar, but yeah, anyway, and I love that he's looking me right in the eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Mark, Heather.
I debated about whether submitting this or not, and obviously I did. A little story behind this. This is down in Nuevo Vallarta, north of Puerto Vallarta, in the tourist area. And the gal in the black is smiling because I'd taken a picture a second before, and she happened to look up and see that I'm taking her picture. But the idea was to get the contrast here between the local and the tourist.
You got it.
Got it.
Great contrast.
This is Mark Bunge.
I think I got tickets.
His
I like-
comment is parking fun.
Little big,
Yeah.
little. That big car sticks right out. That just, so cool.
You know, they can get out of it.
Well, you just have to push real hard.
This guy's got 2 tickets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe one on the ground.
More.
Yeah, got a couple of parking tickets.
Right. And in some places.
Mark Castle's not here tonight again.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is Mike Goss.
Sister.
Must be.
This is multiple exposure assets.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right. That's from.
Well done. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
This was also at the Louisville bicycle race. So instead of panning the bicyclist, I decided to just take a straight shot with the bicyclist going by.
Yeah, well, Topaz Sharpen won't do anything with this.
I call this Ghost Rider.
Guess that was 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
It was about a fourth of a second, probably. Or what does it say?
180th.
No, 1/80th of a second. So they're moving pretty fast. Yeah, they're moving pretty fast.
Full shot.
Phyllis.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I just liked him looking in my ankles.
I like the wide angle. What is this very wide lens?
What?
What is this very wide lens?
It is, and it's my phone.
Oh, those are pretty good.
It's a, like, cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool picture.
With the lake.
Yeah. It's the kids call it.
Oh, this is Raymond,
Yeah.
who's not here, unfortunately.
The lady's blending in with
All the stuffed animals.
He identifies it as the motivated shopkeeper.
Yeah.
Becca,
This is a guy downtown Denver. You give him a couple of bucks and you pick a topic and he writes a poem. Wendy and I happened to run across him one night and after dinner and said, hey. I don't even remember what the poem and the topic was anymore, but yeah, I just found him very, very interesting. And it's at night, even though the light doesn't look like it. So.
Typewriter.
The typewriter is actually electric because it's got a USB and a battery.
Oh.
Yeah, so he just types it out and then hands it to you.
I didn't think it was.
Yeah, it's electric.
Wendy.
Oh. So this was the same day as the Badger. I was having the greatest day. So this was a week ago when it was really cool. We went to the Arsenal right at dawn and it was an adult coyote with two younger ones and they were just kind of milling around and they all happened to get together. And I was with a friend and he kind of did a chirping sound and they all looked at us at the same time. And so we got them.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
great pose.
Yeah, I feel like I posed them, but they
That was the 85 millimeter.
If it was, they'll take credit for that shot.
It was 840.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I had my extender on, so yeah.
So the big lens that you.
840, you said?
Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
1.5 times.
The theme was street photography, so I submitted a photo that's 50% street. This is just a couple weeks ago.
Is there a difference between street photography and road?
Well, I guess if we're getting down to it, this would be highway photography. This is Trail Ridge Road out in Rocky Mountain National Park. Just a few weeks ago, I saw about a dozen deer crossing the street and did not ask them why.
I think that's it. That's it. Okay. I just need an opinion.
Oh, okay.
No.
There was that one, or turn it into black and white with color.
Oh,
The first.
The first.
That one or that one.
I like the second.
That's all. That's it.
I like the first one.
You like the first one?
I like
Okay.
the second.
Thank you.
Good job, everybody. We'll see you next month.
Secret selfie.
Secret selfie.
Secret selfie.
Legally creative, right? Like in my brain.